Welcome to our video on the 80s, and the title of this video is Food is Your Best Medicine. And our questions, well, it involves that title. Food is Your Best Medicine is the title of your first book. Well, actually, it's Traditional Foods Are Your Best Medicine. But the rest of this question, the question part of it, again, this is one I promised to read the questions. You stole that title from Dr. Beeler's book, didn't you? Yes. Dr. Henry Beeler wrote a book in the 1950s called Food is Your Best Medicine. And I called my book Traditional Foods Are Your Best Medicine. I did steal his title. It was so good and it said everything so well that I borrowed it. And but that's it. I didn't. The rest of my book is quite original, although I was influenced by Dr. Beeler's work. He did marvelous work and wrote a marvelous book. Our next question, what about soy? Because soy began to become popular in the 80s. I have never claimed to be terribly knowledgeable about soy. I never really ate it. I tried to eat it twice in Portland in 1978. And both times, it was actually soy cheesecake. And both times I ate it, I got the worst farts of my life. And that was enough with soy for me. And I also, I read a little bit about how you make this stuff. And you got to beat the hell out of a soybean to get soy products out of it. So it never made much sense to me to do anything with that stuff. I'm a kind of a raw, natural foods, mostly raw, whole foods kind of a guy, and soy never fit the bill. Now, all kinds of information started coming out in the 1990s and 2000s. The Weston Price Foundation and Kayla Daniels' book, The Whole Soy Story. There's a wonderful amount of documentation now that basically testifying that soy is a poison and that there's absolutely, you shouldn't go near it. So that's what about soy as far as I'm concerned. Our next question, on the 80s, if food is so important, why did you start recommending supplements? Great question. The best supplements are really foods. And if you look at our supplements, a large majority of them are either fruit extracts or food concentrates. Cod liver oil, our organs and glands, butter oil, most of our formulas. And food is terribly important, and the right supplements complement the food that is available through the diet with things that it's almost impossible today to get optimal amounts of. So when you use a quality, unadulterated cod liver oil for the nutrients it provides, you're getting things that you just can't possibly get optimal amounts of in your foods. We make organ and gland supplements because organs and glands are tremendously important traditional foods. We freeze dry the fresh whole gland, and it's very difficult to get good organs and glands today. Ours are from organic animals from New Zealand. And there are other supplements that concentrate nutrients that by the time people get to be 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 and have health issues that they want to do something about, if you put critical nutrients that are extracted from natural sources, you put these nutrients into supplements and feed them to people on this concentrated basis, it will change and reverse often serious problems much more rapidly than you can achieve with food alone. That's why I believe supplements are such an important complement to even the best diets. Follow-up question?
Did you have problems trying to convince people on the merits of raw food and how to prepare nutritional food?
It was much more difficult then, in a way, to find patients who were really going to be good alternative medicine patients because the whole profession was such a fringe. Of course, that's changed tremendously over the last 30 years or so, but it's still a little unusual to find people who are willing to go to the length that I think is necessary in order to get well, and who are willing to embrace the rather simple diet that I teach on my blog, really, in order to get well. But people are much more willing than they used to be, and the nice thing about it is that the diet that I advocate, which is mostly fresh vegetables and salads and animal foods like steaks and fowl and seafood of all sorts and raw dairy products, and not much else, eggs of course. So vegetables and animal foods and the elimination of everything else, it seems limited at first, but it tastes awful good having a big steak every day. And people get used to salads, and it works so well at eliminating problems that I'm finding that more and more people are embracing it. Okay, this is our buddy Gree. He's our farm cat. He keeps the rodent population in check. And he's a testament to the power of organs and glands because he eats about 3 or 4 mice a day in season. And he eats the whole thing. He's about 12 years old and stronger and faster than ever. And he's our buddy. Aren't you, Gree? We just opened up an Organ Delight capsule. And here's Gree. Here's Gree going for it. Now that's how a cat feels about organs and glands. He's licking it right off my hand. He loves it. I might have to get him another one because he's gonna start talking to me in a minute if I don't and telling me that he wants a little more. He's just scarfing that right up. So instinct intact, like my t-shirt says, my shirt says. And here's an animal with his instinct intact. Who needs cat cookies or whatever they call them? If you got a cat and she won't dance, fill her up on Organ Delight and watch her go. Nice. Okay. You like that there, buddy, don't you? We know you do.